Okay, part two. With my phone. So anyway, yeah. So I'm an individualist, and my upbringing played a part in how I am. I've always had an interest in things that didn't necessarily relate to my own generation, and I think this started like when I was going back to like when I was 3, or when I could start watching television, and also I would watch old reruns of shows that started, I would say, like in the mid 60s, and then because most of those TV shows, when you think about it, were in syndication by the time I was growing up, like when they were constantly being showed over and over again, shows like Gomer Pyle and TV shows like that. Okay. As far as my music taste, well, my family had a large interest in music. My father was a huge country music fan, and he liked Motown. He loved the Beatles. He liked Simon and Garfunkel. He liked, a lot of the tunes that were played on the radio at that time. And of course, when I was growing up, I listened to a lot of the music that you heard on the radio, like 80s music or whatever. But by the time I got to be a teenager, I stopped listening to it because it just got so ridiculous. So I remember liking my mother's old clothes. Like, she would have some of her old clothes from, like, I would say 1960s or something like that, mid 60s, and they were really funky looking. And I remember trying them on and thinking, why can't I wear this? And there was a pair of her shoes that I really loved. And I remember saying, can I have these? Now, mind you, my feet were too big for the shoes that my mom had. Even when I was like in 8th grade, I wanted to wear these shoes, okay? And my mom's like, well, my mom wore like a size 8, and I was like a size 9 or something like that, and my feet are pretty wide, so I couldn't wear it. But I've always had an interest in old things. And so when you find somebody that you click with, and maybe I was psychic back then, maybe I just kind of read into him, but I did know that we had a lot in common, and I thought he was very, intriguing. So that's pretty much it. So that's why people think that. And that's it. I mean, that's how I've been. But if you look back throughout my course of my life, you'll see that that's how I've always been. I've always been this person. So I would say that, some of the food interests that he had, I was inspired by, and I think that he and I would click very well. But other than that, I mean,